Hello and welcome back to yoga. Stella is here with me today. She is ready to practice. I don't think she's aware that I'm going to be moving on this mat. But for now, she's happy to be here. I hope you are happy today, and if you are not, we're going to move your body. We're going to move some emotions through your body. So just keep the breath flowing and let things go. All right, so with that, begin in a comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall. Imagine there's a string pulling your head up. Take a breath. Exhale. Inhale. Fill up completely in your breath. Exhale completely. Again. Exhale. One more time. Biggest breath you've taken all day. And exhale. All right, let's start today. Thanks, and bye, Stella. Let's start today in child's pose. So you can bring your knees together, toes together, sit back, or feel free to open your knees as wide as your mat. Extend your arms in front of you, bow your head, and continue that steady breath. Really try to let your weight completely surrender to the mat. Feel the heaviness of your body. And now if your knees are wide, bring them together. Lift your palms, walk them over to one side for sideways child's pose. Bow your head. And this is Maisie. Hi, Maisie. And then walk your hands over to the opposite side. Sorry. Bow your head again. And walk your hands back through center. Maisie likes to do downward facing dog a lot, so maybe one day we can get her on camera doing that. All right, again, take another breath in your regular child's pose. And press yourself up through tabletop. Once you set up with your knees underneath your hips, your wrists underneath your shoulders, inhale. Let's start with the left side. Inhale, lift your left arm up, stretch straight up. And exhale, bring it down, thread it behind your right hand. Place your head, shoulder, arm on the mat. Maybe walk your right hand forward. You can also bind it, wrapping it back behind you, placing it between your thigh and torso. Place your right hand back where it was. Press yourself back up through tabletop. And now inhale, lift your right arm up. Really, really reach it. Millie has joined us too. Exhale, bring it back down. It's so great to have all my animals on camera. Choose what you want to do with your opposite arm, that left arm. And bring your left hand back through center. Press yourself back up to your tabletop. Inhale in your flat back position. Exhale, round your spine. Drop your head, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your head and hips. Exhale as you round. And if you need to add any other movements between your cat-cows, please feel free. Please listen to your body, really. yoga has helped me become more connected to my body. I'm able to notice sensations, emotions. I'm able to notice more of where they are in my body. I still have work to do there, but it's really helpful to be connected to your body, especially for health reasons. All right, so come up onto your knees at the back of your mat. Step your left foot, your right foot, forward, and then hinge forward at your hips. Let your hips sit as low as they can, and inhale, lift your arms up overhead. So when I taught at a health club, I would face my students and I would mirror them. So when I stepped my right foot forward, I would tell them to step their left foot forward. So we would all be doing the same motion. So now when I teach, I'm kind of ingrained to doing that. Exhale, bring your hands, hips back, step back, second side, step forward with a bend in your knee. Inhale, hinge forward with your hips as you lift your hands up overhead. Keep that chest lifted, chin lifted. Keep breathing. And bring it back. All right, now come all the way down onto your belly. Bring your arms alongside your torso, tops of feet to the floor. Press your feet into the mat. Inhale, lift your chest, squeeze your shoulders together on your back for locust one. Just press your hands, the tops of your feet into the mat. Feel your kneecaps lift off the mat and keep squeezing your shoulders together. Take one more breath. And exhale, bring it back down. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Grip the floor with your fingerprints, the base of your palm. Curl your toes under, separate your feet hip width. Press up into plank pose. And let's just hold plank pose for a moment. So find your breath. Engage your core. Engage your hamstrings, your glutes. Press that floor away from you. If you need to add some movement to stretch out the backs of your feet and your legs, you can do so. I think Maisie's wondering why I'm talking to myself. Who is she talking to? Is what Maisie's thinking, I think. All right, now on your next inhale, bend your knees, send your hips up and back. Try not to let your hands slip forward. Find your downward dog. So pedal it out once you get there. When I say try not to let your hands slip forward, you really want to make sure that your mat is grippy because that's very important. Otherwise, you will slip and you could injure yourself. And sometimes my mat is not super grippy. So I have to be careful. Find your still downward facing dog and tilt your hips closer to the ceiling, your chest and armpits closer to the mat. Take a deep breath in here, and when you exhale, sigh it out. On your next inhale, send your right leg up and back for three-legged dog. Point your toes, stretch your left heel closer to the mat. And now bend your knee and open your hips. Make a circle with your knee or with your ankle, maybe both. When you do one direction, do the other. And then come back to your three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it back down. Second side. Inhale, left leg up and back for three-legged dog. Oh, this is such a great video. Millie wants to hunt the flying insects. Bend your knees, stack your hips, try and open them up. I love these animals. Animals make life better. And then back to three-legged dog, bring it down. There she goes! Good job, Maisie! Downward facing dog. Come down to your knees. Let's take another child's pose. Send your hips back. Let your arms fall forward. Bow your head. Take a breath. All right. Now let's lift on up. Step your feet forward. Come into a standing position. Bring your feet together. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Place your palms together, cross your thumbs, stretch straight up, side bend to one side. As you do this, try and press down evenly in both feet. Try and keep your head between your arms. And back through center. Switch the cross of your thumbs. Stretch straight up, side bend to the opposite side. See if you can keep your palms pressed together. And back up. Now lower your hands. I'm going to turn to the side. You're going to interlace your fingers behind your back, squeeze those shoulders together, walk your arms down your back, and again with your feet together, bend into your knees, sit back in your hips, squeeze those shoulders together. You can stay just like this, working on your squat, finding your focal point, or you can round your spine, head to knee, lift your arms above your head. Try and sit a little deeper. Tone your thighs together. As you exhale, release the clasp of your hands. Take a forward fold. So send your hips up. Maybe you straighten your legs. Maybe you keep them bent. Find your forward fold. Maybe you shake your head no, nod it yes. As you inhale, place your hands on your shins, lift halfway. As you exhale, slide back down. Inhale, bend your knees, bring your arms with you, lift all the way up. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Take a mountain pose. Extend your fingertips to the mat. Lift your chest. Lift your head. Think of a gratitude statement. I am grateful for these pets. All right. Step to the back of your mat. Take your right foot, step it forward to the top for a runner's lunge. All right, knee on top of ankle. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. High runner's lunge. And now think about pulling your right hip back, left hip forward. One more breath here. As you exhale, bring your arms down, take your left elbow, place it outside of your right knee, twist your torso, and stack your right hand on top. So hands are in prayer position, top elbow points straight up, and there's about 6 inches from your hands to your heart space. As you exhale, come back through center. Again, lift your arms, step or hop back to the back of your mat. Exhale, lower down. Second side, step your left foot forward. I will forever mix those up. Lift your arms up overhead. Reach your fingertips up to the sky or the ceiling. Think about pulling that left hip back, right hip forward so your hips are square to the wall in front of you. Keep your chest lifted. Another breath. Exhale. Right elbow outside of left knee, left hand on top, hands in prayer position. Keep the twist in your torso. Keep that back leg straight and strong. And come back up through center. Step or hop back as you lower your hands. It's a good thing that I have this mic. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there are some sirens going behind me. The dog was barking earlier. Hope the world is okay. All right, bring your heels in line with your pinky toes as you come to a wide stance. Bend your knees a little, hinge at your hips. Take a forward fold. Place your hands on the floor underneath your shoulders. So first we're going to start in a wide back, a flat back, wide leg forward fold. And then if you are able to walk your hands back between your feet, you can bow your head, take that wide-legged forward fold. Press down on the outer edges of both feet. And then walk your hands back forward if they were back. Bend your knees. Place your hands on your thighs one at a time. Lift yourself on up. Take your right toes, turn them out 90 degrees, and bend into that knee. Knee on top of ankle. Back leg is straight, and the back side of your foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. Arms open, heart open. Turn your head, gaze over your right fingertips. Warrior two. Firm in your abdomen. Think about opening up in your right knee to open that right hip flexor. On your next exhale, place your left hand on your left leg, flip your right palm, bring it up and back, slide your left hand down your leg as much as is doable for you. Take your reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. Now come up through center, send your hips back, straighten your front leg. If you're not able to touch the floor, place your hand on your shin, lift your top arm. If you can go lower, or you can place your hand on your mat. You can look up if you want to add a stretch in your neck. You can also look out or down. Exhale, bring your top arm down. Frame your front foot. Bend your front knee so you can gently bring that back foot forward. Your back foot is diagonal, at a diagonal. Your back heel is down. If you need to, bend your knee a little bit. Frame your front foot with your hands. Maybe you straighten your leg, but just keep both of those heels on the mat. Don't forget your breath. Press down a little deeper in that back heel. And then bend your front knee, lift on up. Come back to your wide stance. Heels in line with pinky toes. Well, particularly your right foot. You're going to turn your left toes out 90 degrees. Bend into that knee. Again, knee on top of ankle. Open up through your heart. Send your arms out to either side. Lift in your chest. Push your shoulders together on your back. Turn your head. Gaze over your left fingertips. Maybe see if you can sit a little deeper. Open your left knee out a tiny bit more. Take another inhale here. As you exhale, right hand to right leg, left arm up and back as your hand flips. And then lift on up. Straighten in that front leg. Place your hand where you can. Stack your top shoulder. Maybe you bring that hand down. Maybe it stays on your shin. And even if you can access the floor, sometimes it's better to just take a break. Sometimes your body doesn't need to be overly stretched or worked out. One more breath. I can't wait to watch this. Exhale, bring your top arm down. Bend a little in your left knee. Take your right foot, gently hop it forward at a diagonal. And also, if you need to bring some space for your hips, open your feet side to side. That should make it a little more doable. Straighten your leg as much as is doable for you, and then bow your head. One more breath. And as you exhale, bend that knee, lift on up, come back through center, heel toe your feet together, and then place your weight on your left foot. Bring your right heel to your left ankle as a kickstand. We're going into tree pose, so you can stay right here and open this knee out. You can place your foot on your calf or the root of your inner thigh. Once you feel stable, find a focal point on the wall in front of you or the space in front of you. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Root down into that left foot. And then press your right foot into your left leg. Against that, press your left leg into your right foot. Make sure your foot is not on your knee. Don't want to pop that knee out of socket. And while we're here, see if you can open your right knee out a tiny bit more. One more breath. As you exhale, lower your arms, lower that foot. Place your weight in your right foot. Left heel is a kickstand, or it's on your calf or inner thigh. Make sure your toes are pointing straight down. Find your focal point. Inhale, lift. Pull your belly button closer to your spine. Pull your ribs back, but keep your chest and heart lifted and open. As you're here, remind yourself of what you're grateful for. Gratitude is what keeps me going. One more breath. And exhale. Bring your feet together and hinge forward at your hips. Take a forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your knees, bring your arms with you, lift all the way up. Bring your hands together in prayer position. We're going to do what we did before in a lunge, but in a squat. So bend back, bend your knees, sit your hips back. You can keep your hands together, but it's a little more difficult. So you might want to take them apart. Take your left elbow outside of your right knee, send your hips back further, and then twist in your torso as you stack your right hand on top. Now, as you do this, check your knees. It's quite possible that your left knee has come in front of your right. So if so, just pull that hip back. Keep those knees in alignment. We won't be here as long as we were in tree. So take one more breath and come on up. All right, second side, bend back into your seat, back in your hips. Right elbow outside of left knee, left hand on top, hands in prayer position, top elbow points straight up, just like before. Sit a little deeper, squeeze those thighs together. Check your knees. Maybe you need to pull that right hip back just a little bit. Exhale, frame your feet. Take your forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. And then come down to your knees on the mat. We're going to do what we did at the beginning of the sequence. So step your right foot forward, slight bend, and then follow with your hips. What we did earlier was we lifted our arms. What we're going to do this time is you can stay right here. You can place your hand on your thigh, or we're going to add a quad stretch. So bend that back knee. Take your left hand, grab onto your left foot, bring it closer to your hip. If it's easy for you to do this, or if it's more doable, turn your hand forward so that your knuckles are pointing forward and your elbow is pointing back. All the while, still try and sit a little deeper in your hips. As you exhale, if you have that back foot, gently release it. Send your hips back. Step your front foot back. Left foot forward, slight bend, follow with your hips. Notice how this feels. If this is a deep stretch, you might just want to stay here. Maybe you bend that back knee if you want to. Grab onto your foot with your hand. Bring it closer to your hip. Maybe you're able to rotate your knuckles forward. Point that elbow back. If you're not there yet, you're not there yet. No big deal. Exhale, gently release. Frame your front foot, step back. Walk your knees forward so that you can have a seat for reverse tabletop. So for reverse tabletop, you're going to bring your feet hip width apart, about 1.5 feet in front of your hips. Hands back behind you, thumbs out, fingertips back. Inhale, press down on your fingerprints, the base of your palm, and your feet. Inhale, lift your hips. Squeeze your glutes, keep your thighs parallel, and keep pressing your pelvis up. Don't forget that breath. As you exhale, bring it on down. All right, now in your seat, bring the soles of your feet together. Maybe bring them close to you, maybe far away. I'll turn. Sit up as tall as you can. See if you can lower your knees closer to the mat, maybe a little bit more. Maybe you want to massage your feet a little bit. Your feet are something to be grateful for. So if you're having a hard time thinking of something to be grateful for, think about how far you've traveled with these feet. Where have you gone in the world? These feet have carried you your whole life. Take an inhale as you sit up super tall. As you exhale, hinge forward at your hips, round your spine, bring your head closer to your feet. If your elbows are resting on your thighs, maybe just gently press them down a little closer to the mat. And come on up. Bring your knees in. You're going to lie back. Bring your feet in front of your hips. Take your right foot and place it on top of your left thigh. And then, let's see, we are going to lift our hips off the mat, send them over to the left side so that our knees can fall to the right. Once you've done this, you should feel a gentle twist in your torso. Hey, baby girl, can you move a little bit, please? Thank you. And you can rest your arms up high, or you can goalpost them. Find what feels good. Give your pets some love. Now, if your top foot is still on your knee, because you had an option to place it on the mat, sorry I did not mention that. Take your foot off of your knee, bring your knees back through center, lift your hips up, and bring them back through center. Now pick up your left foot, place it on your right thigh above your knee. Lift your hips up and over to the right. Let your knees fall to the left. So if you are not comfortable with your top foot being on your knee, now's your chance to place it on the mat. And if you are, you can leave it there. Take your top foot off of your knee if it was there. Recenter your knees, recenter your hips. And let's do that again, but we're going to do something a little different. So take your right foot, bring it on top of your left knee, and then pick up your left foot. Now, usually for double diamond, actually what we just did was double diamond. This is, the name of this pose is failing me now, but usually we interlace our fingers in front of our hamstrings and we gently pull. Please do that. If you are not able to, bring your foot even closer. So bending your knee closer to your chest, bringing your foot closer to your chest, and then lifting your foot. If you're able to grab your foot, which is even difficult for me, it makes this hip stretch super deep. But if you're able to, grab onto your foot and keep your right foot flexed to protect your right knee. If you're not, then just do what we've done before, interlacing your finger and your finger interlacing your fingers in front of your hamstring. One more breath here. Exhale and release. Bring your feet back to the mat. Pick up your left foot again, right knee, pick up your right foot. Maybe you interlace here, or maybe you bring the whole unit closer to your chest and you take your hands you grab the outer edges of that top foot. You should probably do this in front of your left foot. Gently press down, keep breathing. And release. Bring your feet back to the mat. And let's windshield wiper our knees from side to side. All right, and once you feel complete with that, pick up your feet, open your knees, grab the inner edges, the outer edges of your feet. Lift them towards the ceiling or the sky, keep your feet flexed, and then gently pull down on them, bending your elbows out to the sides for happy baby. If you want to find a gentle rock, please do so. If you want to straighten one leg and then the other, you can do that too. Find the movement that suits you best. What does your body need today? And now let go of the outer edges of your feet. Bring your knees in front of you, but keep your knees bent. Place your hands on your calves, and then press your calves towards your face until your hips and low back and maybe even mid back lift. From here, if you're able to and you would like to straighten your legs, feel free. Otherwise, you can keep your knees bent. You can keep pressing on your calves. If you're able to come back behind you, lift your hips a little more. Maybe assist with your hands and place your toes on the floor behind you. Wherever you are, take one more breath and then gently lower mid back, low back, hips. All right, you're going to extend your left leg out. Pick up your right knee, interlace your fingers in front of your shin, pull closer to your chest, and press down on that left heel. And now to add a twist, take your left hand, pull your right knee across your torso for your twist. Send your right arm and your gaze to the right. Bring that right knee back through center and extend it out in front of you. Press down on your right heel, pick up your left knee, interlace your fingers in front of your shin, gently pull closer to your chest. Try and keep your breath consistent, even in the more doable poses. The reclined poses, keep that breath going. It will help to lengthen your muscles. I hope this has been an amusing video. Take your right hand, pull your left knee across your torso for your twist. Left arm and gaze go to the left. Bring both knees back through center. Wrap your arms around them. Give yourself a hug. Rock from side to side if it feels good. And it is Shavasana time. So we're going to extend our legs out. Let your feet fall open. Let your arms be heavy by your sides. Soften your gaze or close your eyes to rest and receive the benefits of practice. Now is your chance to pause the video, take as long of a Shavasana as you like. I hope that this practice has served you. I hope that it has entertained you with the animals, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.